Uh-oh. Camera issues. What's going on here? I know exactly what's going on, which is that I started up the stream and then realized I hadn't plugged my camera in yet. So, pop it up, pop it on. Here we go. On screen. Raise up the desk a little bit so that I'm comfortably in frame and I'm not staring down at all of you. All right, party people in the place to be. Live from 58 Dream Street, we're James and the Games. It is episode 13 of our Ultima 5 Warriors of Destiny Let's Play. So with no further ado, let me pop open the GOG Galaxy app, or the GOG box, as I believe it's officially known. That's probably not how it's officially known, but they could call it that if they wanted. Everyone would know what they meant. Turn the volume down for you kind folks so that in just a moment, after the Lord British title crawl. Ooh, that's not, I don't know, weird sound effect choice for the title screen. But here we are. This is going to be a very short session today. It is the final weekend prior to the commencement of in-person teaching here at my institution, which means I am going to be cramming all the socializing I can get in this weekend, which is one thing that's cutting short my time. But then also I need to take care of a lot of chores. I'm going to try not to work too much on the weekends this semester, which is a bold new step in work-life balance for me. But in order to get in position for that to work, I'm probably going to have to work some this weekend, perhaps even on Labor Day, which is not ideal. Nobody tell the ghost of Cesar Chavez that I'm doing that. Whew. All right. So, the story so far, the Avatar became the Avatar. British! Lovely to see you. The Avatar became the Avatar in Ultima 4, had been previously known as the Stranger, came back to the land of Britannia, and was asked to become the Avatar, provide a moral role model for the people. The Avatar said, yeah, sure, I can do that. Achieved enlightenment in all the virtues, became the Avatar, went home to his home dimension, and then was summoned back at some future date by his companions Shamino and Elo, who are here with me on the team. And upon being summoned back, he discovered that Lord British, the noble ruler of Britannia, is no longer in charge. He's gone missing during an underground expedition into the dungeons below Britannia. And while that happened, Lord Blackthorn took over in his stead, which might not have been such a bad thing had Lord Blackthorn not been corrupted by those fellas. The three Shadow Lords that you see on the box art there. And now Britannia is a dictatorship, which is bad to begin with. And add on top of that it's a dictatorship that ruthlessly enforces the virtues, completely missing the entire point of virtue ethics as a philosophy. And these Shadow Lords are just real bad. Whenever they come around, they infect the people with whatever vice they represent, because the Shadow Lords oppose the principles of virtue. So we have a Shadow Lord of hate, who makes all the townsfolk angry and violent. We have a Shadow Lord of cowardice, who makes them flee even from friendly people who might be in need. And we have a Shadow Lord of falsehood, who makes them all lie. It's not the way to start. You're correct about that, British. But here's the story, the very up-to-the-minute story, is that at the very end of last week's episode, if you recall, I went into the Moongate outside of Minok in order to acquire or access the Shrine of Spirituality, which is locked between dimensions. And then hitting the save button, I hit the save button while still standing on the... let's hole up in camp here. I hit the save button while still standing on the Moongate, with the result being that the whole game advanced one step while I performed the action of saving. And so the Moongate activated again, and now that it was past midnight, it didn't send me back to the Shrine of Spirituality, it sent me to Britain. And so my frigate, my ship, is stranded outside of Minok. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to pop up there, grab my ship, and then we're going to sail down around the coast and we'll pop out near the start. I believe that's a fairly easy route. And then, even though I don't have any leads on what I might do in Dungeon to Start, which I'm just trying to remind myself roughly where it is. The dungeons aren't marked on the cloth map that I'm looking at here, but if I recall correctly, it's right in the southwest of, or maybe, west, southwest. It's on the western end of the lower part of the continent, somewhere near Trinsic. So that's where we're headed. I don't know. I have no particular objective in Dungeon to Start. It's one of the 3 dungeons I can access. I've already completed. What am I trying? Or completed. But I made it to the bottom. Accessed the underworld through Dungeon to Spies, and I discovered the Dungeon Deceit, where I do have a lead, is outside of my grasp right now. So I'm curious whether I can get anything done in the start, whether I can find any cool treasure, kill some big monsters. And since I don't have much time today, if all that happens is I bumble into the dungeon, get down a few levels, and then immediately discover, oops, of course I'm over by the shrine, that I'm overmatched, well, yeah, I could either pop out and just start sailing around, check some things out, or I could surrender, if I've spent enough time in there that it's the end of the day for me. Okay, here we go, and there she is, all reliable. We board the ship. So there, we're getting off on a good foot there because I successfully pressed the button that would board the ship instead of trying to enter it, which I often do. Yes, I've got lots of things I can do. Let me remind myself. I mean, I've got all these. Oh, you know what? There's a thing to do. Just out of curiosity, there's only one shrine I haven't acquired the quest from, and by the same token, I have not even checked out the situation with the Isle of the Avatar. Now that the Stygian Abyss has become like a mountain, and the Codex is at the top of that. So maybe that's what I'll do today. At any rate, step 1 is to do some sailing. So yeah, you know what? I'm super curious. I want to see what's going on with that island. So let's go north. I don't know if there's ever going to be a magical explanation for this, but I'm pretty sure the dimension Britannia is in, is supposed to have places in it other than Britannia. And yet, if you just sail all the way north, you come around to the south. I think probably the ultimate explanation for that is just, it's a video game, man. You're thinking about this a little too much. But nonetheless, you know what? I haven't even checked in on where I am after last week. Plenty of money and plenty of ginseng and garlic if I need to mix up some anox. Yeah, we're hanging in there for the moment. Let's light a sailing torch. Okay, I don't know at all. I don't have a strong sense of where I am. I should be looking over here to the map as I do this. Okay, so some swamps. I don't know. But we'll eventually I'll get a look at some of this stuff and have a better sense. I mean, it'd be a perfectly reasonable thing to not establish an in-game explanation for, and yet at the same time, Richard Garriott obviously likes to create as rich of a world as he can. So that is a gap that he could fill in if he wanted. What's my gem situation? Because I have gone and navigated myself into I don't know where. Well, only 7. So yeah, okay. Going back. Sailing at night. Bad idea. Let's get out and camp. This very well could be the Isle of the Avatar. Or I could have gone. I have no clue. That's fine. The Avatar himself will stand watch like a hero. Here we are. All rested up. Alright. So we've got an island with a bunch of hills on it. And this could... oops, board. Double board. Yeah, I'm thinking this is the Isle of the Avatar, huh? I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm pretty sure. So let's sail around to the north. Oh. You don't want the smoke, sea dragon. Oh, the sea dragon can do shallows. Whew. Fortunately. Yeah, okay. Lots of lava. That's a pretty serious sign. This is the way into the abyss in Ultima 4. What I want to do first, and hopefully there isn't... The Shrine of Humility in Ultima 4 is guarded by literally nigh on endless waves of demons. And you can only avoid said demons if you have a special item. I'm going to hope that that's not the case. But it's entirely possible that we're about to be slaughtered by literally endless waves of demons. At which case, I very well might just boot on back up. Because this is a case where I don't want to leave my ship in this particular location. Stranded when I resurrect. Alright, moment of truth. Okay, looks like we can just go to the shrine, which is lovely. Let me bust out my deeply coffee-stained index cards here to remind myself of the mantra of humility. We approach the tranquil shrine. What virtue shalt I meditate upon? Let's do humility. Since we're at the shrine of humility, the mantra is Lum. Not a fan of coffee. These might be tea stains. I do love a hot caffeinated beverage. Although I did this summer, now that I am aging and being forced to acknowledge it by my own body, I massively upped my tea intake so that I could get it down to just having 1 cup of coffee a day. And so now I very rarely bring coffee into this room, so that's probably tea. Lum, lum, lum. And here we go. Find out how terrible it is to not be humble at the Codex something something. Alright. Unto the Codex and learn the weakness of a life consumed by pride. Okay. That quest... Well, Chili Champa, that is a fair question. I mean, it's not that stained, right? It's just a little bit. I mean, but the reason is actually the biggest sign that it's tea is just that I'm constantly pouring too much water into my tea, with the result being that when I come on back here, or when I bring it in, it's all spelled Codex, not spelled it wrong, but made a typo. That I'll fix. So I've got all the quests. Am I at all capable of making it to the Codex? I'm quite skeptical that we're ready, but who knows? I mean, I know nothing. I have done a very good job of not We're back on my bullshit where I try to enter the ship instead of boarding it. Okay, threw it in a save. And now we find out, are the infinite pirates still a feature of the Isle of the Avatar? Let's fire up the old torch, which gets me nothing. Absolutely nothing. Have I gone past my entry point? Or have I not reached it? There it is. Yes, I will never fully internalize it. So I think I'm gonna start getting the first one every time, because at that point I'm like, gotta do it right. And then once I get into the flow, I'm gonna keep on trying to enter. It's just not gonna work. All right, Hopefully, this cove is not filled with infinite pirates, because I don't think our little skiff is going to be able to withstand a lot of cannon fire. Alright. The exact opposite of infinite pirates. 0 pirates. Okay. This is not the way in. Alright. Of course. Wouldn't be the Isle of the Avatar without a big old poison swamp. Let's... I mean, what are we going to do? We came here to find out. And the only way to find out is to walk through the poison swamp and get everybody poisoned. Oh. The swamp's not as big. That's nice. And Gweno, who I'm going to assume literally jumped onto ELO's back and pushed his face down into the poison swamp. Made our way through. So, let's mix up some Nox. We got the ginseng, we got the garlic. Yeah, that's an image that comes readily to mind because my most recent D&D campaign where I was playing 2 tabaxi that I based on my cats. And so there was a point where the whole party had to kind of get in the water and then go through a narrow tunnel to get out on the other side of this underground river. And I opted to have my characters ride on the backs of their friends. And then as soon as they got out of the tunnel, to jump off their backs, thus pushing them under the water. But, oh, how much? Well, I need 5. I had 2. I'm going to want more later. I have tons of ginseng and garlic. Let's do 7. Very good. And now let's get to work. Saving the day. I would be entirely willing to share advice about Gloomhaven. I am a huge fan of the game, and I've played a ton of it in the past year. It is my way to be not deeply engaged with what the best strategies are. I like to figure it out for myself, but I have learned a little bit about I have my own opinions, and then I know a little bit about the player consensus because Greg and Rich are much more likely to pop onto Reddit and find out what the optimal strategies for a given character are. Okay, so Jana, you're in the hot seat here. But cure yourself first, because you're in the worst shape. And that's fine for Jana, because Jana's whole thing is justice. And it is just for the weakest person to be cured of poison first. Julia would never go for that. It's not sacrificey enough. Sacrificial enough? See, Julia wanted to be last. She loves the virtue of sacrifice. Oh, streaming. So there, the question becomes, because I've been told that the other guys have gone and actually looked at the Gloomhaven streaming category on Twitch, and apparently we're the only ones doing a physical board game with cameras pointed at it. Because there's a Gloomhaven Steam game that it's in sort of a state of continual development, I think. And okay. So, looks like this is not the way. Which means the whole team's getting poisoned again. Oh well. But yes, if he's doing the board game, I have a lot of advice because I have been doing different things with this game to try to figure out how best to display it for quite a while. And I don't think I'm there yet. I think it'll the whole goal is by the time Frosthaven comes out, the sequel, to have a real solid strategy. But certainly I certainly have some ideas that I could share. Like I certainly don't feel like I'm doing a bad job. Okay. I would need to teach myself more. I would need to learn more about that platform. Okay. Well, whatever the answer is, to how to get to the Codex. I haven't cracked it yet. Because it doesn't seem to be in there. One unfortunate snake about to get himself got. Nice shot, Julia. And now, Jana, you're in charge. Boom. Nice shot, Jana. Probably, I'm gonna be kind to Shimino and say, surely that python probably didn't have a ton of money in its guts. Okay, well, certainly haven't cracked the, oh no. This is not great. Okay. Oh! Well, there. That was a roller coaster. That's good. Less competition. Although at the same time, maybe a thriving Gloomhaven streaming community would be more in our narrow short-term interests. I have no idea what the relative power of this one sea serpent to my gang is. So let's do a little Vas Flam. Barely wounded. Not an auspicious start, but we have other ranged weapons. Grazed. We have 2 Morning Stars as well, so this thing doesn't have to come all the way to shore to be in melee range. We've got options. We have options. Yeah, that would certainly save us all rowing, since I have no patience for dealing with the wind. Enjoy making dinner, British. Or alternately, if you don't like cooking and you're only doing it out of necessity, I hope it goes quickly and that you enjoy the meal. Come on, team. We got to land shots here. Did I stutter, team? We got to land shots. It's still barely wounded. That's not a great sign. ELO. You foolhardy bird. You're going to step right up in this thing's face. Ooh. Jana just nails ELO in the back of the head with a rock. Which happens a lot. Okay, yeah. We got to get... It was a bad idea. Got to get ELO out of there. Heavily wounded. Alright. It's coming together now. Oh, you know what? Maybe ELO can get the kill. Get revenge for that big hit. Heavily wounded. Silver sword. This is his big shot. And he missed. ELO. Critical. And it's trying to flee. We know what to do to a fleeing enemy. As heroes of virtue, we shoot them right in the back. So we can maximize our experience points. Alright. Getting back to the seas. I'm gonna take a look at the map here. See if I can... Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know if there's any... looking at the cloth map, it seems like there might be something I need to do, which wouldn't be surprising at all. Boom. It's not Shark Week this week, folks. Oh, there was a hint, wasn't there? Britain. Okay. I know that obviously the Guardians, 2 winged stones, they possess life. Master Hawkins lost the plans for the Cape. The HMS Cape. Something about words of power. Hope I didn't miss an important hint. Like, fail to write down an important hint. Yes, I do see the... Looking at the map, I can see those gargoyles. Winged stone guardians. And... So I can see where they are. And looking at the map, it kind of looks like you might have been able to act... Like, they're in roughly the same place that the Abyss was last time, except couldn't physically get to that. So I might be able... And it's worth checking out. From the south of the island... Is there a pathway towards it? We definitely don't want to walk in the lava at this point. I mean, really, if there's anything we've all learned from video games as children. Okay, we even have a sign, and there is a path through the hills here. And there's some giant rats. Ooh, and there's a okay. Yeah, we're on to something here. That's for sure. So let's pop out. Let's kill some rats and a skeleton. Look at him. Rattle them bones. These skeletons in this game are just so jaunty. You gotta love them. Boom. Lightly wounding that rat. Alright, we're not going to waste any of Jana's spells, but hopefully we can get her some experience anyway. Just on the strength of rats not being very hard to kill. Well, let's find out. There goes one. Oh no! Hopefully Lars doesn't show up and find out that I lied to the audience. I'll give that a shot tomorrow. I might have time before I start around 3 tomorrow. It's iffy. It might be a next weekend thing now. I should have put it on my work to-do list and done it at the end of one of my work days. Ha! Shimino misses with the Morning Star, but splatters the rat that was behind the skeleton. The Morning Star is a powerful but also extremely reckless weapon. Stempinski, how now? Today I'm just checking out the Isle of the Avatar and seeing if I went and I woke up the Shrine of Humility. So now I have all 8 shrine quests, but I have no idea how to get to the Codex. So my thought was, let's explore the Isle of the Avatar and see what I can do. So right now, I've discovered where there's a sign and a path that I think is going to lead to those stone guardians. That secretly, but not so secretly, because I've been told by just a regular person that they possess life. And, okay, let's try to protect Elo from poisoning. Success. Of course, Elo is also not getting anything done as we try to keep him safe from poisoning. But yeah, the quest is going quite well, I think, overall. I startled myself when I looked at my playtime as I was booting up the game, because it said, like, you've played over 60 hours, and I thought, that does not sound right. And then I realized that a couple weeks ago, I left the game on by mistake. It was the same debacle where I failed to save. So I left the game on for, like, 30-something hours. So the majority of my playtime so far has been idling. Even so, I've certainly already put a lot of time... Yeah, put a lot more time into this already than I think I did into Ultima 4. Like, even just legitimate time. Not just the time that I accidentally wasted. Man, that's a hardy skeleton. Okay, take out the back one, Julia. Let's see if Elo can kill a rat. No. Elo can't do anything. Skeleton's critical. Now it's running. Alright, Elo, get a kill. Or, okay, he hit it. That's something. Husband and wife team. No. And Yellow's poison. He's getting bitten by rats. It's not coming together right here. Oh! Beans the avatar with a rock. I mean, that's what you get when you take an intellectual and say, here, kill a giant rat with a slingshot. I'll stand in front of it. You know, you can't really get too mad at Jana about that. She has been dealt an inadequate hand here. And she's doing what she can with it. Alright, come on, skeleton. Just die! There we go. And it's a rich skeleton. Do you think we could see that treasure chest, like, clutched in its rib cage before we killed it? There's one. And come on, Gweno. Don't shoot your husband. Well, she didn't shoot her husband. Julia took care of that for her. Alright. Be very careful, Avatar, not to bash poor Elo in the head. Success! Okay. We'll get Elo, heal thyself, cure thyself. And now yeah, I really probably should. Although I do get a huge kick out of the husband-wife dynamic that I've inadvertently created between Elo and Gweno, where she's just constantly just blasting him in the back. And there's something. Ooh, not a bad little haul. How much gold? Hey, 35 gold. Very nice. A key, a torch, 2 food. Ooh, some money in the guts. 2 gold. Guts and worms in that guts pile. And there we go. We've cleaned it on out. Success. Let's throw a save down. Let's look at the sign. And of course, I mean, fair enough. These folks write their signs in their own alphabet. I can't get that irritated with them. But alright. Let's see. Am I getting faster at translating here? I believe that's a K. K. N. O. W. No. That. And know that. What's this crazy one? Yeah, absolutely. The preparation is a fun part of it. Making sure you're adequately provisioned for a quest. Something that, especially JRPGs, but I feel like most of the RPGs I played in recent years really got away from was that idea that it's actually hard for the heroes to travel long distances over land and fight all these battles and try to make it out there, and that there are limits to their magic powers. Okay, so know that. Now, what the hell is this letter? It's a Y. Know that the M looking thing is an E. Know that Y M A Y. Know that you may one that goes down and then swoops up. O T. No, O N. Only. Know that you may only. P A pass if, right? If on know that you may only pass if on a S A sa sacred. Know that you may only pass if on a sacred, I think it's going to be quest. You may only pass if on a sacred quest. Well, I'm on 8 sacred quests. So perhaps they'll allow me to pass. Oh my goodness, sweetheart, you're correct. It is within 1 full hour of the time at which you get your LUNCH. Alright. Well, we're on a sacred quest, so we're qualified for this. Let's find out. Let's find out what happens. Ooh, look at them. I suspect, I got a feeling, that these stone guardians are going to possess life. Pass, Seeker. I shalt pass. Ooh. British is curious about a technical detail. A technical detail of the game? Is it something like... something to do with the fact that I'm on so many quests and I'm not just coming out? Well, let's find out. Let's see what happens. If I enter... well, here's the Codex. That was easy. That was way easier than getting to the Codex in Ultima 4. The book is open to the page thou dost seek. All 8 of them? Upon the hallowed page thou dost read. A dishonest life brings unto thee temporary gain, but forsakes the permanent. Alright, we gotta... This is a... What am I gonna do here? Alright, let's make a really long additional column here in my spreadsheet in case this particular information is important. I'll call it the lesson line, and this is honesty, or the opposite. A dishonest life brings unto the temporary gain, but forsakes the permanent. Yeah, that sounds like good advice. Sounds... if the world absolutely worked that way, which I'm not entirely convinced it does, be good. Alright, okay. Thank you, Codex. And then I leave. Then can I go right back in and read another page? Listen to this cat. Come on. You think that... feeling I think I never feed you. Okay. Well, there we go. I believe I'm going to need to go... at the very least, I got to go back to the... I got to leave, like, entirely. But I think probably I need to go back to the Shrine of Honesty and be like, hey, I found out that it's bad to be dishonest. And then perhaps it'll move on to the next one. Okay. And for that matter, I mean, we're not getting low on food, but it couldn't hurt to buy a little food, maybe a few reagents. So swinging by Moonglow is just the thing. Thank you, kind gargoyles. That, you know, I do know... I don't know a lot about Ultima 6, despite it being the one that fascinated me the most as a child. But what I do know is that it concerns some sort of war between gargoyles and Britannia. And that you open... I imagine these Stone Guardians are not part of that gargoyle race, but who knows. And I know that the opening scene is like a battle scene as the Avatar is summoned back into a fight with gargoyles. And... I don't know this, but I do have a master's degree in literature. And so I feel very, very confident saying that, oh, yeah, that would have been unfortunate. I think we can safely say, I mean, certainly honesty was not the last one I did. So at the very least, it didn't erase, I mean, maybe it only stored honesty. Who knows? We'll find out. But yeah, I feel very, very, very confident that Ultima 6 is not going to turn out to be a game where the goal is to kill all the gargoyles and win the war. I suspect that we'll find out that the gargoyles are misunderstood or that there's a... you know, there's got to be something else going on. I can't see Richard Garriott going, at that stage in his artistic development, being like, all right, it's time for just a kill the bad guys quest. Sailing north. I guess I might as well be looking at the map as I do this. So I feel fairly confident. Yeah, I'm not gonna. It would be pretty hard to miss the island Moonglow's on. Coming up this way. Oh yes, I've got no additional. I don't know anything else about Ultima 6. I know it looks a lot different than this, so I can't do much theorizing at all, except to say that I'll be absolutely shocked if the goal of the game is just kill all the gargoyles, and then at the end you fight the biggest gargoyle of them all, and then you kill them, and the avatar says, "Truly, it is a virtuous life to feast on the flesh of your defeated gargoyle foes." All right, let's go back. I want to know what happens at the shrine, and then we can worry about provisioning. Because it's not like we're starving. And also, you can go to the shrine in the dark, but you absolutely cannot get much done in town when it's dark. Okay. This will be worth looking at the map for. Yes. So this little jerk island. Oh, that's not fair. The island never did anything to me. But this little island obscures the larger island where the shrine should be right up here. If I'm map reading correctly. And it is. And I can walk to it. Very good then. So, what's going to happen? Upon what I'll do honesty. That's my suspicion, Stimpinski. Who knows, right? Maybe Richard Garriott, for all I know, drastically revised his interests and his principles between games. But my money's on the gargoyles being someone we're gonna need to come to understand. Mantra. The mantra of honesty is nope, that's honor. Whew. Caught myself just in time there. Not yet. Well done. Oh, yes. Boosting my attributes. Thanks, Shrine. With this little extra bit of intelligence, I will cast more effective spells. Make our way back through the woods. I swear, kitty, I can hear you. I always wonder, when the cat is she imploring me? Or is she, she's like, come on, let's have lunch. Come on. Or does she think I'm an idiot? Like, I don't understand. She's like reiterating. What I'm trying to say is, she's speaking slowly like a condescending tourist. Gweno, you're in the hot seat for keeping watch. She's rocking out for us. Well, now there's a real strong motivation to start knocking off these quests for the sake of becoming the mighty if I'm supposed to be the hero of destiny here, I should be mighty. You know what, Chili Champa? That's a fair question, and let me think about that for a moment. No, she was always like this. She is a very squeaky kitty. She does know that something's going on when I'm sitting here and talking to the screen. But now that when she's pushing for food, I don't think she's interacting, but she'll she'll perch up in that chair back there because she's like, oh, we're doing this right now. This thing where we interact in that direction. I doubt that she understands that we're I don't know. I do wonder what the cats... animals... One thing about animals is that you can tell that they sort of, in their own minds, they classify sounds as being real or not real. Like, sometimes some loud noise from the television will, freak the cats out, and then they look up and oh, it's a not real noise. Thank goodness. And sometimes a noise that they would find scary has no impact on them because they, even in the moment of hearing it, they know that it's not real. And I remember our dear departed Mandy, Rich's dog, who very sadly passed away recently. She just she would look up a little bit at first when you said her name, and then eventually she was just like, my friends aren't here. Nobody ever comes to see me. I did manage to get over there a couple times during the pandemic, during the looser, friendlier times. And when we did that, 30 gold? Gee, let me consider your prop. Nah, let's kill ya. Sorry, trolls. But we're on the internet, and the first rule is you don't feed the trolls. Well, I guess that depends where you are. There are certainly there are places in the world right now that are all about feeding the trolls. I don't want to get too political, but it's to the south of where I am. Nicely done, Jana. Oh, wasn't a great shot. Elo takes a step forward. Gweno does not shoot her husband in the back. You love to see it. And that's all she wrote. All right, Shimino, check it out. No trap. Okay. Here we go. A gem. Excellent. Small shield. That's just money to me. A key. A gem. Very nice. Still probably want to stop by the guild store. I don't think I am going to do Dastard today. So that's what I had a feeling I might not make it to the dungeon. So I called the episode Towards Dungeon Dastard instead of Into or Delving Dungeon Dastard. Perhaps that's tomorrow's title. I think for now, very nice. Getting stocked up. And we're back. Oh, but I was going this way. Back on the grind. What time is it? In Britannia. 1:54 p.m. All right, the shopkeepers have no excuse. Yeah. I'm having a great day, sir, but like, you and I, art thou well today? Yes. Glad to hear it. What's my interest? My interest is bye. I did not come to talk to the mayor, or whatever your position is, sir. Just imagine if just every time you tried to go downtown, Mike Savage just cornered you into a conversation. Mike Savage, for those of you who do not live in Halifax, Nova Scotia, is our mayor here. Yeah, you can serve me. Rations, please. 13 gold pieces. Love it. Give me 2 packs. Nay, sir. Alright, have a good one, Sam. Alright. And yeah, like, you know, I'm sure Mike Savage is a nice enough guy. I did see him in real life once. And he was just going to the grocery store by himself in the middle of the day. And I kind of wanted to be like, excuse me, Mr. Mayor. Like, I'm all for, like, you know, I understand you want to be a man of the people, but, like, surely you can pay someone to get your groceries and not be skipping off work in the middle of the day to run errands? You're the friggin' mayor, sir. I greet thee, noble mage. My name is Nilrem of the Herbalist. Why am I reading this? I know it's just the shop. It is election season over here. We just had a provincial election, which worked out terribly for my rent in a few months. And we're in the middle of a federal election, which I just assume is also going to go terribly. I'm a pessimist. Or rather, Am I a pessimist? Is that the right way to describe how I feel about life? No, it's not. But with politics, I think you might as well expect bad results because realist, yeah, you know, pretty realistic. I mean, Justin Trudeau put himself in a situation. My goodness, this price. Oh, it's ginseng. Never mind. It's not a bad. This isn't a great price, is it? This is more. No. I need to be writing these down. Alright, so to my Moonglow sheet. Reagents. Oh yeah, I've already written this down. Okay. Yeah, I'll take it. I do need ginseng, so what am I gonna do here? Yes. That's a. I've heard sayings like that too. I think of it in turn. I've said often that a cynic is a disappointed idealist, which I suppose is a similar idea. I certainly went through a very idealistic phase that did not last long about politics when I was quite young, and then through a really cynical phase. I suppose I do try to be more realistic now, but it gets hard sometimes. Because like I got nephews now, so they're very young, and it's like, man. Now it's really bugging me that the leaders of the world are like, let's just see how this whole climate change thing just let it play out. Maybe it'll be fine. We certainly wouldn't want to take any risks to our own political careers to make difficult decisions. Even though politicians love to say that they're making difficult decisions, specifically when they're like cutting spending on things they don't care about. We need to make hard choices and tighten our belts, which is why I'm cutting a bunch of things that don't affect anyone I care about and that I don't support, and not cutting anything that I do care about. All right. Thank you, Moonglow. Throw it in a save. And now, not the most exciting loop to be in this morning, or this afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are. But let's go back to the Isle of the Avatar and make sure that the quests are all, loaded in my destiny. Whatever it is that allows the Codex to know exactly what page to open to. Hopefully it knows all 8. We do not have tumbleweed issues that I'm aware of. May I ask, out of curiosity, British, do you have tumbleweed issues? Boom, sailing down. I don't know that I've ever even seen a tumbleweed in real life. Was this it? Was this the way up? Could be. I mean, might as well look. No, I didn't go down far enough. South enough. Guess there's no down when we're really talking about cardinal directions. All right, here we are. Heading up. Hopping out. Oh, wow. Interesting. I know like nothing of tumbleweeds. Like beyond that they're used, to convey like boredom or desolation in lots of televisual media. I don't know that I don't know what a tumbleweed problem is. I mean, I guess they're weeds and they're on the move. So I can imagine how they could create problems for people. Here we go. I will pass. All right, so that confirms that we are still on a sacred quest. Let's see what the Wisdom Codex has to say. It opens right to the page I care about. But I care about 7 pages. Which one will it be? Only a detested life owes its pleasures to others' pain. That sounds like the antonym of compassion. I am interested. Please send me a link to that video. I would love to watch this, because I mean that video, at the very least, even if I wasn't interested in learning, which I always am, it would have great tumbleweed footage. I assume I could get a better sense of what they look like. Right. Only a detested life owes its pleasures to another's pain. I haven't yet, British, but hopefully soon. Oh, I definitely think this is opposing compassion. It definitely sounds very uncompassionate to get your pleasure in life from another's pain. Coming back to our "don't feed the trolls" thing, that really does seem to be more and more of a thing in culture. Some people seem to have no idea of humor. Ooh, yes. You know what? As long as we're exchanging documentary recommendations, if anybody hasn't seen the documentary is just called Cane Toads, and I know it's on YouTube. All right, I am copy and pasting that. I'm not going to watch it right now. Oh, I can't copy and paste. But I'm opening the tab, and then I'm pausing on a fantastic shot of the Young Bucks, who I do hope lose the AEW Tag Team Championship belts tomorrow. But that is not because I don't think they're doing a terrific job of looking like douchebags with their incredible outfits and facial hair. But yes, if you just you know what, why do I even have to say here's how you can probably find it? As long as we're sharing links. Just excuse me a moment. Here we go. Cane Toads, an Unnatural History.
Friends.
So this is a 46-minute documentary about the introduction of cane toads to, I do think it's compassion. And we'll find it. Alright, here we go. Oh, hop on, board the skiff. Rather than entering the skiff, board the larger ship. And then, alright, trying to picture the location of the Shrine of Compassion. Whoop. I believe... Oh, hello, giant squid. I'm probably not going to get an opportunity to fire my cannon at him. No. Alright. Well, we'll do what we can. Does Gweno have a shot on this guy? Yes. Good job, Gweno. I think Julia's got to get up to the top deck. And Jana might as well follow along behind her. Oh, this jerk's not going to... Oh, he is in range. For the Morning Star. Shimino, the extremely bold, just leaning off the prow of the ship and extending his Morning Star out. He's been doing his yoga. He's got... You need some real core strength to not just go right overboard. Trying to fight with a with a Morning Star at range off the prow of a ship. There we go. That's a miss. But yes, this documentary about the introduction of cane toads, I've only watched it all the way through once, long ago, with Chili Champa, actually, who was the person who told me about it. And it's hilarious, in addition to being like informative and interesting, because Australian people are characters. And so there's a lot of them being interviewed. They have extremely strong feelings about cane toads. And the Gamers remains on my, like, you know, you've told me about it, and at the very least, you told me it's short, so why wouldn't I check it out? But I haven't even had watched something short time, really, lately. I'm glad that you're enjoying it, British. I am really enjoying discovering the game, and it's certainly more fun with everyone hanging out here. Which is not to say that I wouldn't be having a ton of fun with this on its own, because I don't think Ultima 4 was as fun as this game, but I just played that by myself and had a ton of fun. So, we better help Shimino before we head back to the seas. Oh, none mixed. Okay, we can't mix. Alright, taking a tiny bit of damage at least. Shimino, but that's alright. You're a big, tough guy. Mix up a little and Nox. Let's just do 5 for now. Boom. And then Jana save Shimino. And we're back on the sea. Oh, okay. Don't sail at night without a light. That's, did this to myself. Well, what are we going to do? We're going to fight it out. Now, I'm nowhere near it right now, obviously. But when I finish this game, then I'm going to have a big question to ask myself, because I really want to do Ultima 6, and I will in the fullness of time. But I also want to check out some of the other, the big ones, your Bard's Tales and your Might and Magics. But I don't know. It might be a thing where I just gotta keep doing Ultima for now. And then do the other ones when there's no Ultima left. Or if I... Oh! That is extremely helpful. That is useful information. No, it is not. I have got to stop doing pointlessly risky things. But we're in it now. No way around it but through. Or I suppose that's not true. As British just said, I could flee. Okay, can Jana get the shot from here? I don't think she can. No. Got out of Shimino's range, but not Gweno's. Of course, she missed. Alright, Jana, go up. Avatar, step forward. Shimino, just wait. Julia, step forward. Oh! Yeah, so I definitely don't want to flee. I have a strong desire not to lose this ship that took a long time to save up for, and which I spent the majority of my money on. Alright, here we are. Here we are. Grazed. Come on. Alright, maybe Elo. Oh, lightly wounded. Gweno! Yeah, as long... Okay. If one person needs to flee, they can flee below deck. If everyone flees below deck, they're fleeing down there to hop in the skiff, which I don't think that's how a old-timey ship would actually be laid out, but yeah, makes sense. Makes sense in-game, and that's all it needs to make sense for. Nice shot. Pardon me. Jana. Ooh! Alright. Elo's putting in the work now. It's heavily wounded. That didn't help. That did. Oof. Yeah, Elo took a big hit there. This thing's heavily wounded. Alright. Bard, save yourself. Not heavily wounded. Alright. Just this once, Gweno. Don't shoot your own husband. Hey, nice. She listened. Sea Serpent grazed. Come on, Julia, put it down. Come on, Shimino. This thing, there's a lot of heavily wounded in this thing. Critical. Now we're talking. Grazed. Still critical. Still critical. Grazed. My goodness. This is a hardy beast. Alright. Alright. If that's the way you want it. Flambe. Tonight we dine on sea serpent. What dish would sea serpent go into? I don't know. I don't eat enough seafood anymore because I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat any seafood. Let's light a torch. Hey, the tiniest island we've ever seen. Let's camp. Yeah, we'll set a watch. I myself, the Avatar, will stand watch. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, we always have the option of being like, all right, Shimino, dive in there and gather up as much of that sea serpent as you can. We shouldn't be doing that when he's in heavy armor, though. Thank you, Lord British, for all the healing. Extremely helpful. Yeah, my destiny does await me. That's true of everybody. Your destiny pretty much always has to be waiting for you. It can't be behind you unless something's gone horribly wrong. Wow. I didn't get at all away from my starting point. Ooh, how close is Jana? Because she's got to be... Oh, she's not close. She's like close-ish in the sense that like her experience growth should be much slower, but I've been putting in the time to make sure she gets kills. How's everybody doing? Gweno's just along the way. Julia's along the way. Yellow's along the way. Shimino's closing in on level 5. And the Avatar's actually lagging a bit behind. Although, who needs level ups when you can just be juicing your attributes with sacred shrine quests? No, I thought for a minute, I'll just blast those orcs for no reason. And then I thought, that's not very Avatar-like. Yes, I agree that a more reliable method for summoning Lord British would be an asset to the game. I understand that, you know, that's one of those considerations where I think the decision was made more with world building in mind than with the character. And, you know, he's astral projecting. He can't just do it all the time. But, oh my goodness. And once again, oh, shallower waters. We've made it probably to the north edge. Yeah, I had that going on with the first characters who I ascended, I think, to level 3. There was some definite hurry up and wait going on where we had it all done. And this looks super familiar. Yeah, I am awfully close to the Shrine of Compassion, which we can get to via the seas now, and might as well. What time is it? Closing in on 3. Yeah. Sadly, gonna have to shut down pretty soon without having done a whole lot. But tomorrow I should be able to do a full-on, 3 to 6-ish. Yeah, I think I'm near Cove right now. And so is the shrine. But let's be easier to ascertain that at daylight. Yeah, I'll set a watch. I'll do it myself. Bum, ba, 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 ba. Oh, great. Lord British shows up twice in a row. And we just absolutely don't need him at all this time. No, there's not. It's nice to see you, British. But, yeah. Alright. Yes, okay, yeah, we're right in the vicinity. I'm assuming... In fact, I'm pretty sure I can't enter the skiff. Gotta board it. Yeah, you can row right under that bridge. And then... Just glance at the map here to remind myself. Yeah. So... Ah! That was careless. And I did that the first time I went to Cove, too. Oh, well. Maybe British will show up again. And here we are. Sweetheart, you're at least very close this time. But you gotta wait 5 minutes. If we don't maintain real strict times, then they might start just bugging me for food all the time. We couldn't have that, right? What virtue? I'm gonna go with compassion. The official virtue of this shrine. And I believe it's moo. It is moo. 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 Boom. Feeling dexterous. Very nice. All right. Do I want to do one more? Yeah, I do. I do want to do one more before I stop. And this time I will not row my boat into perilous waters and get everybody hurt. Boom. Hop on the ship. And now we row a long, long ways once more. Heading east. That's probably the easiest way to do this is to go east till I hit. Wait, for go east, am I going to just... Oh, yeah. We'll hit the island that has Moonglow on it very clearly. And then a straight shot south. Circumnavigate the Isle of the Avatar. And one more shrine quest today. Not the most dynamic or exciting adventure, but this is making us, as a party, or at least the Avatar specifically, more exciting and dynamic. And so tomorrow, when we will absolutely go check out Dungeon Dastard. Just because I like doing dungeons. Sometimes that's what it's all about. Just doing something that you're going to have fun doing. And that is the very tiny little island, right? As it is. Boom. Good day, gargoyle friends. Whoops. Wow. I had my DOSBox window partially off the thing, and you can't tell until there's some change and it doesn't pick, and OBS doesn't pick it up. Okay, here we go. Enter! Which one will it be this time? Oh. Book is open. Upon the hallowed page, the dust read. Those who fear to try know not their limits, and thus know not themselves. So, that's got to be the failing of a life without valor, I think, right? Because if you're not valorous enough to get out there and try, valor comes from courage alone. Yeah. Those who fear to try. Whoops, or those who feet to try. Those who fear to try know not their limits, and thus know not themselves. Perfect. Very good. Nosfentor loves when people never learn their limits and thus know not themselves. Nosfentor, for anybody who's not in the know, being the Shadow Lord of Chaos. Not of Chaos, of Cowardice. There is no Shadow Lord of Chaos. I'm playing not on Twitch this game For the King, which is sort of like a... Not sort of. It bills itself as a mixture of tabletop, roguelike, and JRPG elements, and that's exactly what it is. And part of the gimmick of the game is, even though it's turn-based, it enforces like a sense of urgency because there's a force called chaos that is constantly rising. And if you're not completing your quests... Warhammer? I assume that's a Warhammer thing. Like, most of what I know about Warhammer is just my buddy who does it occasionally telling me stuff about it. I think I've probably played some Warhammer PC game or two in the 90s, but it's mostly anything with miniatures. I was never gonna get a chance to get into as a kid. I did not have that kind of money. Wait, where am I going? Shrine of Valor. Valor, of course, is Jalome. I should be going west. There's a time. Oh no. We got a squid on our tail here, and it's caught us. Oh well. A little bit of experience. Shimino gets poisoned. So it goes. What can you do? You gotta live a little. And sometimes living a little. Oh, it is that time. So let's okay, I don't mind if the avatar passes if I wait too long. Pardon me, folks. Lunchtime! Yeah, very exciting. What's more exciting than having lunch? Imagine if as humans, we could get as excited about anything as our animal friends get about just having their regular meal at the same time every day. What a world it would be. That was a wild shot, Gueno. Didn't even look like you were trying. That was a big hit from Big Sham, which I've just decided Shimino's nickname. Kind of makes it sounds like a bad thing. He's Big Sham. He's actually just a big guy. His name starts with Sham. He's not even the official big guy. That's Jeffrey, of course, but we don't have Jeffrey with us. And also, Big Jeff is not nearly as silly sounding of a nickname. Alright. Bye, squid. You came, you saw, you poisoned. We got nothing out of that. Cost us 1 and Nox. Not a big deal, though. Back to the seas. Alright. Let's find... You don't want it, sharks. You don't want it. I tried to tell you. Okay, where have I got myself to? Let me pop this map out. Yeah, okay. We just went past the cluster of islands that includes Serpent's Hold. Unless I'm badly misreading my location. And so a little bit of north, and a fair bit of west ought to get us to Jalome. When you walk in Jalome, you never walk alone. And okay, there's a lighthouse? Uh-oh. Okay, no, I am nowhere near Jalome yet. These are the islands of the Serpent's Hold. You know what? Yes. And I was even talking about the map wraparound earlier. I should have gone east from the Isle of the Avatar to Jalome. Ah, well. You live, you learn. Or, in my case, you live and sometimes you learn and sometimes you just keep on trying to enter your ship instead of boarding it. Forever. Never learning as you grow older. Okay. Now we're in the neighborhood. Oh, this must be the island with the shrine. And there it is. Old Valorous. Let's head in. Upon what virtue dost I meditate? Valor. I guess I'll use the British spelling just to be safe. What's the mantra? The mantra of Valor is Ra. Ra, ra, ha, ha. Strength? Yeah. Okay. Well done. Now, am I going to keep clawing out these quests tomorrow right away? Probably not. Just because we should mix in some, like, having fun. Not that I'm not having fun, but, you know, something a little more dynamic in and amongst the gradual clearing of these quests that I could have been ticking off along the way after I got my ship, had I known what was going on. But hey, good stuff there. Let's, as our final act, you know, the food supply is not great. Okay, so I can't just go to Destard right now. I guess I'm gonna head back to Moonglow to grab a little bit more food. I'm not gonna buy the food today, but now doing the thing I should have done, taking advantage of the wraparound, and yeah, there we are, all the way back to the Isle of the Avatar. Yes, and the very final thing I will do is I will save the game like a responsible person, which I sometimes am. And really, I got to turn that mode back on in a big way. Now that I need to, you know, be a teacher. I was gonna say mentor, and I mean I do mentoring stuff, but I guess my real job is not to be a mentor, but to teach these students things that will help them with their communication skills and general and professional development and all that good stuff. I gotta get back in that mode. I mean, I've been teaching this whole time. It just hasn't been in person. It's surreal, to be honest, to think that I'm going to be in front of like 400 people in a few days saying, "Hi, I'm James Ross. You just got to believe me." Oh, I just said my surname. It doesn't matter. Whatever. That's my name. Fortunately, it's not like I don't have anything to say, I don't think, on this stream that is particularly offensive or could put my reputation in jeopardy. Camp it down for the night. Elo stands watch. Gets bored playing his lute. Ambushed. Here's our final act then. Oh, there's a dude. This guy, this is like, you know, he's just one guy and we're probably going to beat him right now. But he seems like a really dangerous guy just because he has so many giant rats tamed, right? That's a whole other level. Oh no, that's Elo. Oh, okay. It's not a guy. That's trusty Elo. He was just out there wandering when he was like, giant rats all around us. Boom. One less rat to worry about. Gwen will take a step down. I think Julia can hit this shot, but she can't. But I definitely think Jana. Yeah, I totally, just because yeah, if I was being attacked by a human like a rogue, he would also just have the barred graphic. Yeah, ELO got sick of being shot in the back by his own wife. Said, "That's it. From now on, spending all my time. I'm raising up an army of giant rats, and you are all going to regret laughing at me as my wife, tried to murder me again and again." Wow, 2 hits and he didn't get the kill. We know why Elo is going to be gray-haired in the later games, and it's married life. Yeah. There's another thing, yeah. You know, like even if his wife wasn't constantly shooting him, he might have beef just about having, you know, we brought him back to life, and he's like, what? Like why do I have so many scars on my back now? It's like, oh, well, we were just dragging you around by your feet for a month. Pop. All right, can Julia get around this corner? I know she can't. I'm wasting a quarrel. Ah, well. Boom. Alright, Gweno will go up that way. Julia march forward. Shimino with the wild. I love how often Shimino pulls off that trick of missing his actual target, nailing a thing behind it that is theoretically out of his range. Jana's got no shots to take. Avatar's poisoned. That's not the end of the world. I knew that I couldn't hit that shot. I'm too free with quarrels now that I know how cheap they are. Boom. Point blank. Elimination of a rat. The Avatar pulls a Shimino. Hits the other rat. Gweno nails the skeleton, as does Shimino. Neither of those hits particularly impressive for whatever reason. Jana didn't kill the rat, but we'll have the Avatar fight the other one. And maybe Jana can pick up a kill here. Heavily wounded. Then Shimino missed. Give your head a shake, Shimino. When the archer behind you can precisely like hit a bone and not accidentally shoot between the ribs, and then you swing your big old Morningstar flail, you can't get the hit. He just woke up. He's not a morning person. Julia's greatest foe is just that wall. Just filling it full of quarrels. Alright, Elo. It's the first time in this fight that Elo didn't just immediately waste a rat when he engaged with it. Jana hits the Avatar. Elo finishes off that rat. Nah. Oh, Jana might still get a kill just because the Avatar has got the yips. Can I get a point blank shot off? Yes. I think it was close to a month. I think it was pretty much the first month that I played the game. I did a whole bunch on day one. Not a whole bunch, but I actually did some things on the first day. And then I got into a death spiral that I could never drag Elo out of. For a long that took like 2 weekends. At least. Maybe even longer. Bruh. The saddest, most urgent meows she ever makes are meaningless. I guarantee if I went and I looked at what she was doing, she would just be like yelping at the stove. She does that a lot. Oh, in-game time, absolutely. In the game, it was quite some time that young Elo was dead. Man, this is a hardy rat. Or not hardy, slippery. Pop. Alright. So, Elo will throw down an Anox for his dear friend the Avatar. And then Shimino will close out the night by digging through all the rat guts. We found some food. Put that in the general supply. No reason to segregate the rat gut food from the rest of the food. It's all just food. Just eat it. All right. Well, folks, the company that I thought I had coming 2 weeks ago, that actually wound up canceling. And now they're coming over tonight. So all the cleaning that I did last time, I benefited from it. And yet, now I got to do it all again. Because it was a real busy few weeks getting prepped for going back to school and closing out my summer course. So the place became a mess again. So, short session, but a fun one as always. I saved. And so yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, episode 14. and we will... Well, Stimpinski, it could be raw rat meat, or it could be that the rat itself, swallowed a chicken whole, and, this could go down some real gross... this is already gross. We shouldn't make it grosser. So, I'll be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Atlantic, just around there. Probably pretty close to there. And go for a few hours. We're going to definitely go into Dungeon to start. See what's going on. Knock some of that out. And so, come on back. And love to have you. If you stuck around to the end, if you popped in and left, 3 p.m. Atlantic. And yes, whatever amount of the show you watch, thanks for watching. Always a pleasure to have you folks here. And until next we meet, take care of yourselves. Be kind to everyone you meet.